Hello everybody and welcome to Talkin Chalk. I'm Tim Berthelot. Talkin Chalk is the show where faith, sports, and leadership all come together. Today we visit the North Shore and go to Hammond, Louisiana to St. Thomas Aquinas High School and visit a young man who comes to the United States from Lithuania by way of England and then to Hammond, Louisiana. Why? Because he wants to earn a scholarship to a U.S. university. In just a moment, you'll meet someone very special. His name is Winkowski. Stay with us right after this on Talkin Chalk. Welcome back to Talkin Chalk. Let's meet Winkowski and find out why a young man raised in mixed martial arts in England would suddenly become a basketball player and find a high school in Hammond, Louisiana, come across the ocean and play high school basketball to earn a college scholarship to a U.S. university. Let's pick up the story in England. And what was life like growing up in England?
Well, all I can say is it's a lot different than living around here in America. Growing up as a child, I was very into fighting, and my dad was my teacher, my coach, and he trained me through MMA and kickboxing, and throughout my childhood, I was just growing up as a fighter and everything, and he took me to loads of competitions, got quite a few titles in England, and my dad has been my real mentor throughout my whole life. I met with my coach, Gary Maitland, who actually went to St. Thomas Aquinas. He was in the class of 2000 when he graduated, and he was my coach for most of my basketball career. He took me through like all the steps of basketball. My parents just found it in an article in the newspaper because the whole way how I got started into playing was me and my dad just went to the park one day and just found out maybe I could have a few simple skills around here and then we just decided to go and look for a club, and then that's exactly what happened. I met Gary, my coach, and then it kind of took off from there. Played with him for about 2 years, and then I decided to play for a National League team, London Pioneers, and played with that coach for a while, and then straight after that I decided to come over here.
Do you favor basketball over MMA street fighting, and does your dad favor that? Which one does your dad favor? Which one do you favor right now?
Well, to be honest, I can't really say. I have the same emotions for both of them. I love MMA as much as I love basketball, but at the moment, I'm training more in basketball than MMA because obviously my dad is not here. Sometimes in my room, do a bit of shadow boxing, every now and then, just to remember my moves. But really, I think I love them both as much. I've got to continue with my love of basketball if I want to, continue on to the college level.
So when a coach says this is going to be a physical game tonight, some guys in basketball might shun away from that a little bit. You probably go, oh boy.
Probably not, yeah.
A physical basketball game's not going to really upset you, is it?
Oh, definitely not. I definitely always want to get as physical as I can in the game.
What have you learned from Coach here that's made you a better basketball player?
Well, I've learned a lot about discipline, a lot more about determination, about going to practice and spirituality and everything like that. Like we pray before and after practice, to get ready, and we always have a word for the day and a phrase for the day, and that kind of gets your mindset ready for the game. I've learned how to play more as a team rather than just a single player, because in England people are a lot more selfish than they are over here, and I've learned a lot about how the game's more physical, people are a lot quicker around here, and just the whole game's just different than in the UK.
You're only a junior right now. As you enter this year and then next year as a senior, where do you think you'd like your career to go college-wise here?
College-wise, I'd like to get any offers as possible. I would like to get some Division I offers, but I wouldn't mind getting Division II or III, just as long as I'll be able to play college basketball after I finish high school. I think that'll be a good goal for me to reach.
Why did you want to play college ball in the United States so badly?
Well, it was my dream. As soon as I started playing basketball and I started playing with Gary, I wanted to make sure that I would be getting to the right steps to go on to play college basketball. That's why I came over here to high school. And I don't know, I just sort of had a passion for playing it, and I just hope to be better as much as I can, try and improve every day, and that's basically my goal. And I don't know where it will take me, but wherever it will, I'll just go along the path the right way, so that I'll be able to go to the highest level possible.
Modestus, what role has your faith played in your success and your coming here to the United States and you're feeling like this is where God is leading?
Well, you know, what I was thinking about it, I would pray every single day to get into St. Thomas Aquinas High School. You know, my coach would be giving me texts and emails saying, you know, the thing has been delayed and, you know, I have to get my visa and all sorts of things like that. So, you know, there's a very rough road to getting here. But, you know, I'll pray to God every single day and say, you know, please God, will you help me get to America? And, you know, it kind of happened. So, you know, I think that's where he wanted me to go, to kind of lead me in that direction. God plays a big part in my life. And especially since I don't have my parents living with me here in America, you know, it's always good to have God as someone that you can talk to, you know, outside of the gym and school life and everything in general.
Just for fun, 2 more questions.
All right.
Your favorite move and your favorite shot in basketball?
All right, my favorite move in basketball, I have this little kind of one-step dribble where basically I go off the triple threat, and you take one dribble that way, and the defender thinks you're going to go to obviously the way that you're going, and then you just quickly put it through your legs, and you just kind of go past them, and that would be my favorite shot as well. I would say just going in for a layup, because in England that's where most of my points would come off, you know, just driving to the basket and trying to get as many layups as possible.
When we come back, we'll meet the coach at St. Thomas Aquinas and a best friend of Modestus Winkowski right after this on Talkin Chalk. Welcome back to Talkin Chalk. At St. Thomas Aquinas, Coach Earl Goff knew he had somebody special when he met Modestus Winkowski. Let's find out why, and we'll also hear from host family and someone who's become almost like a brother to Modestus, Stephen Runkowski. Earl, boy, Modestus, what a fine young man.
He truly is. Modestus coming over here to St. Thomas Aquinas is a blessing for us. I know he thinks it's a blessing for him. And I'm glad St. Thomas Aquinas can provide something for him, but he's providing a lot for our student body with just a cultural difference, but the fact, like you said, he's a fine young man.
As you learn more and more about his life and get closer and closer to him as his head basketball coach, what's impressed you the most about him in England and then coming here to the United States?
You know, as we were going through the process of him registering as a student while he was still in England, it was intriguing as our assistant principal, Dr. Cass, was getting academic reports from teachers and coaches alike. They all talked about how he was an enjoyable young man, a likable young man, and worked extremely hard. It's okay, that's there. He'll be in a new culture. You know, he gets here in mid-August. Let's see how all of that evolves. He's a likable young man. He's an enjoyable young man, and he is an extremely hard worker. Wow. So those same characteristics that they saw in England, we see over here in the United States. He is yet to complain or to stop working hard.
And it's amazing because he could complain about not being able to play this year because like the NCAA, like the LSHAA, there are transfer rules and he has to sit out for a year, correct?
That is correct. All he is doing this year is training as far as the weightlifting, the running, which what kid likes to just run, the conditioning. And he practices every day we have practice. He's there every day, practicing and training and working with the knowing I can't play on game day.
So he can only play for 1 year, his senior year, after he practices his junior year, and he's putting all of his eggs in that basket. How can you help him get that college scholarship he so badly wants?
You know, the biggest thing is to keep him motivated to continue to work hard. Now, it has not been hard to do that. He's very self-motivated. He will frequently ask, Coach, can I come in the morning and shoot before school? His academics are good, so the grades will be there. Now it's just putting himself in place and getting used to the American game. Like he said, I think our basketball game here in the United States is played maybe a little bit quicker than he's accustomed to or used to. And you can see him every day getting a little bit better with that.
He's MMA. He's a street fighter, but yet he doesn't flaunt it. He's tough, but he doesn't flaunt it.
It's amazing. The young man who coached him over in England, in a correspondence with him, when he told me, I said, what? Oh my God. He goes, but on the court, you'll never know it. He said in the classroom, you'll never know it. And that's true. You picked up on it yourself. It's not something he's going to talk about unless asked about it.
What role do you think his faith has played and is playing this year as he sits out, just practices, and waits for 1 year, one senior year, to make his mark?
I think his faith truly is a testimony. His story is about his faith, because he put a lot of faith not only in God, but in his coach over in England and in St. Thomas Aquinas School, and the fact that we would take care of him if he left his parents, which for a teenager is a safety net. And he gave up on that. So he had faith in our school community. He had faith in what his coach over there told him. His faith has gotten him through since mid-August to now. And it will have to continue to get him through, not only socially, but importantly, or just as importantly, athletically.
As a basketball coach in high school, what role has your faith played, and what has it instilled in you, and how do you want to instill that in the young men that you coach in your success as a head coach?
My faith for me is everything. You know, it's gotten me through the good times and the bad times, and that's what life's all about. It's ups and downs, and what do you invest in? And I've learned from my parents and grandparents, and through my education, the importance of faith. And because of that, I think that's why I'm working in a Catholic institution, to hopefully, my goal is to instill that in the young people I come into contact with, that they're going to be ups and downs, and in life you need to have something more than just the physical, and that is faith. And you need to put it in a higher being, and that is God. I try and instill that in our young men, and faith development is a huge part of our program here, athletically and academically.
We're back at St. Thomas High School here at basketball practice in Hammond, Louisiana, and talking with Stephen Winkowski. Stephen is a teammate of Modestus, and he's also the son of Mike and Dina, who act as the host parent for Modestus Winkowski. And it's got to be something very special for you to have, I guess, maybe a guy who's become a brother to you in some way from England. Tell us about that. What's it like?
It's way different. At first, I didn't expect anything like it. It was kind of mind-blowing, actually. Came to my house. I couldn't understand a word he was saying. I asked him what sport he liked to play. He said basketball. What sport is that? Basketball. And yeah, he pretty much became a brother to me, really close.
How has this relationship developed between you and him as brothers through this year?
We just talk about everything, you know. We just picked up like we knew each other, like we were best friends all along.
You became Facebook friends before you even knew each other.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I found him on Facebook. I heard that we might be getting a kid from England, and somebody told me his name was Modestus, so I just searched him on Facebook and messaged him, and we talked for a little bit, and that's about how I met him.
When you found out your parents might be the host family for Modestus, did you have to bend their arm ready to make them make the right decision, final decision?
I did with my mom. My mom wasn't for it at first, but I talked her into it because I thought it'd be a good experience, and so far it has been.
What do you think Modestus has learned from you that you've really seen him change and be a little bit more Americanized?
I guess just the things we say, the slang, and out here on the basketball court, he's just learned to work a little bit harder. And
on the basketball court, he just seems like, with the MMA background, a fierce competitor. How tough of a competitor is he?
Oh, he's strong as an ox. You can't move him. I mean, he's just strong-natured, strong-willed. I mean, just strong kid.
What have you seen in practice that tells you, wow, this Modestus, he just loves physical basketball?
Oh, he goes in there in the post, hits you, elbows you, whatever he does to just get a basket. And that MMA background helps him a lot because he's this physical guy.
What type of a future do you think he's going to have in basketball? And as y'all talk about his dreams, what do you see in his dreams that you think he's going to help him make himself successful?
He definitely wants to stay here and play some basketball, whether it's at a big school or a small school. So hopefully my AAU season, he can play on my team and get some exposure with college coaches and work on getting him a scholarship.
How special would it be if you could play college basketball together?
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be great.
Think you might go as a team somewhere?
That'd be great. I hope that happens.
And what have you personally learned from this relationship about having a brother, so to speak, that's become a brother, so to speak, in your home? What has it taught you about people all over the world and just about people in general?
There's no need to judge them. I mean, we're all alike. I mean, he's from England, I'm from the United States, and we have all the similar interests, and we just bond easily.
When you know that he has to sit out an entire year before he can play, what role do you think faith has played in his drive for success, and maybe in your drive to help him be successful?
I mean, to come over here and live for a whole year, you have to have some kind of drive. So I don't know, he just pushes himself every day. He wakes up at 6, comes, shoots in the gym, wakes up at 6, studies hard. He's just a hard worker.
When we come back, we'll meet the host family from Modestus, host parents Mike and Dina Winkowski. All of that on Talkin Chalk. Welcome back to Talkin Chalk. Let's meet the host family for Modestus. From Hammond, Louisiana, meet Mike and Dina Winkowski. What special people they are to take Modestus from England and make them, in effect, their adopted son for the next 2 years while he's here in the United States, and maybe longer if he gets a college career here. That has to be very special, Mike. Tell me about that.
Well, it's just something that, that came along, and I was all for it right from the start. I mean, having been in his shoes as a student in England when I was much younger, I would say, yeah, bring it on. And it's been a joy, it really has.
And Dina, as his adopted mother here, it's got to be something special to you, because as we spoke a little bit before this, I could see the gleam in your eye when you talked about him being now an addition to your family.
It really has been a blessing to us. It really has. I mean, Modestus is a wonderful young man, and he's really adapted quite well to Louisiana. He loves the food. He loves the school here at St. Thomas, and he's an exceptional young man.
How did he come about being your adopted person, or you came about being the host family?
Well, Coach Goff approached us over the summer about hosting him, and at first I was a little reluctant. As a mom raising a teenager, I'm thinking, now I'll have 2 teenage boys in the house instead of just one. However, I really continued to pray about it, and it kept coming back to me, and Coach Goff finally called and said, I need a final answer for this. And I said, I really think that really the Lord was leading me to say yes. So we did.
And what a blessing in that he comes in as the same age as your son, Stephen, and Stephen says they've become like brothers.
They really have. They've become very, very close.
And Mike, what do you see as they bond together as, like Stephen says, almost like brothers?
Well, they're typical teenagers for a start, and the fact that they're both gifted athletes, is a plus.
Now, you grew up as an Air Force child, son of an Air Force careerist.
Correct.
You spent 3 years in England, as you told us earlier. How has that helped you relate just a little bit better to Modestus?
Well, all things English, for one. I mean, just the colloquialisms and the mannerisms, and I went to an all-boys Catholic boarding school, so I wasn't at home. I was 11, 12, 13, and I was with Englishmen. So I became one of them, quite literally. And it's a very fond memory and something that I'll always have.
Dina, how have you seen Modestus become a little bit more Americanized?
Well, specifically, he's just crazy about the food.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, he's here in Louisiana, where we're so blessed to have just an abundance of, all kinds of different foods. And so one thing I've seen is he definitely has enjoyed that a whole lot. Popeye's fried chicken's one of his favorites, jambalaya, things that he's never had before.
And Mike, has there been any time when you felt like, besides you recalling some great times, that you and Dina, and maybe even Stephen, have become a little bit more English because of him?
Well, it's the novelty of the whole thing is unique in the fact that here we are with a guest student from a foreign country in our house, and we pick up on things that I think will enhance our lives, as I hope that he picks up on things that will enhance his life from us.
He spoke how much you all meant to him. He spoke about that. But has there ever been a time that the fact that he does love you all, and he's so happy to be here with you, that he ever comes to you and says, "My golly, I just miss home"?
Well, he thanks us profusely, for every meal that's served. Like, it could be crackers and cheese. Oh, thanks for the meal, and which is, good parenting from his parents. Kudos to them. And he's very appreciative. And of course, he misses home. He's 16. I mean,
Sure.
His mom, his dad, his mates.
When you go watch Stephen play, and of course Modestus has to sit out this year by LSHAA rules, so he can't play after a game, or does he ever look in the stands and just know that he's happy you're there for him and happy you're there for Stephen?
I think so. I mean, Modestus is a just a really kind, sweet young man, and I know it's very difficult for him to stay on the bench and not be able to play this year. But what he's going to gain in terms of the practice and going to the games with Coach Goff is going to be invaluable to his career next year as a senior when he does become eligible to play. And also we hope in the spring that he'll be able to participate with us in our AAU basketball play, which Stephen plays with a team out of New Orleans, the Blazers, coached by John Derenbecker, and so we're hoping Modestus can get on that team with us. And we travel quite a lot there, and that experience will be invaluable to him as well. And also, we'll be traveling a lot throughout Southeast Louisiana, so he'll get to see, a lot more of the area than he has seen since he's been here, because they've been so busy here at St. Thomas.
Now, his dream is to play college basketball. Your son Stephen's dream is to play college basketball. You ever think about it? They go as a team
together?
One day?
It's a possibility. Where
Yeah.
I mean, you just never know. You never know. We'll see.
That would be special.
That would be very nice.
It would be, yes.
God bless you all.
Well, thank you.
you.
We appreciate it.
We want to thank Mike and Dina for serving as a host family for Modestus Winkowski. And Modestus, we wish you the best of luck over the next 2 years earning that college scholarship. We hope you've enjoyed this version of Talkin Chalk. Join us next week for another version of Talkin Chalk, where faith, leadership, and sports all come together. I'm Ken Berthelot. Thanks for being with us.